Hey guys, UX here, and welcome back to another episode of Boosters Exposed. This is episode 3, and it is a Friday episode, which means we're going to be going a little more in depth than we would in our Tuesday episodes. And we're going to be trying to take down two different boosters, so two different accounts in this one episode instead of just focusing on one person. For you here today, I've got two more top 100 accounts on the AP leaderboard. That's right, we are not anywhere near done with this leaderboard. We have two beautiful accounts. I'll show you guys them both now. We've got G1ovanni here. Known booster from what I hear though, so not too crazy. He is, I believe, number 40, what is it, 44? There we go. Number 44, G1ovanni, 21.5k, almost 21.6k AP. And then we've got coencidence here. Far less smash stats, but I'll show you guys how we know he boosted even with such a low sample size. He's also got about 20k. He is currently number 97. So just know those are the two accounts we're going to be tackling in this video. And let's get right into it. So first off, we're going to be taking a look at G1ovanni. G1ovanni, very big account, as always with our boosters exposed that are taken from the achievement points leaderboard. Just about all these accounts have like black or lapis plus, or sorry, not lapis, like dark blue plus. So this is normal black plus, okay, no plus plus. Of course, very high achievement points, almost 50 mil karma, decent high pixel network level. Obviously, this guy didn't buy a ton of boosters, but it is clear that he's been playing for a long time. I mean, late 2014 player, that is nothing to laugh at. That is quite a long time he's been playing this game. He's been playing on this server for nearly 7 years. To think since his first login, nearly 7 years. That was a long, long time ago. He is in a new guild, Hype W. And yeah, we're going to be taking a look at his stats first. He's got a lot of quests completed, over 13k. That's and a lot of rewards claimed. He's an active main account. From what I hear, though, he does frequently boost many a games for the AP. So we're going to be taking a look at Smash Hero stats today. If you look at his Smash Hero stats, I mean, he's not too high star. You'll see that he does one trick into Green Hood, so he does mainly just play Green Hood. This is very common with achievement hunters where they will focus on one character, get all the way to MS purely for that one, I think it's 20 or 25 AP achievement for getting an MS kit. I believe it is 20, although you can correct me if I'm wrong on that. Anyways, it's a lot of AP. If you go from P0 level 0 to MS on at least one character, I believe you get like at least 40 AP from it or something like that, which is quite a lot. It's a lot of AP just from one single kit in a game mode, right? And at least for Smash Heroes, because you don't get a lot of AP from Smash Heroes. So we're taking a look at his Green Hood here mainly today. I mean, all his other characters don't really have enough stats for us. Like the sample size is like really low, and in comparison, obviously, to his Green Hood, if he was going to boost on one character, it'd probably be super obvious on one of these guys. But we'll try and stick to his Green Hood because this is where if he was going to boost and it would be difficult to detect, it'd be hidden in here. So obviously, at first glance, what do you guys think? Do you guys think he boosted or not? I'm going to go ahead and say that from these stats, it looks like he may have boosted, although it's not very easy to tell. As you can see with teams, his stats aren't insane, his KD isn't insane, his overall win-loss is insane. None of these numbers are absurd. I mean, clearly he just used double XP boosters all the way to MS, right? That's why he's got such a low game count. I mean, it's not super obvious that I boosted, but we can get into it. And I've actually got something very interesting to show you guys today to help us. It's a very useful tool that I've created to help us detect boosters. So as always, this is his API. You can verify with the object ID. He's got his UUID somewhere down here, right? Where's his UUID? UUID right here. So you can verify all that all you want. It is the G1ovanni account with a 1 instead of an I at the start. As always, we go down into stats. We go down into Super Smash. This is Smash Heroes. We go down to class stats. We're taking a look at his Green Hood. Now, I've already got a few key notes written down here. First thing we're going to be taking a look at is his damage per kill on Hood. Okay, so we're taking a look at his damage per kill on Hood. So if we start by getting his damage dealt, very simple. That's this number right here. We're going to take that If you want to follow along at home, take out your calculator here. We're going to take that, we're going to divide it by his kills. Where are his kills? His kills are right here. Now, we're going to be doing a lot of math repeatedly, so I don't necessarily suggest that you follow at home, but the answer from this is about 29. Okay, 29, fairly low, but I'll show you guys why it's not actually 29 in a moment here. Before I do that though, I think it's a good idea to know what numbers we're comparing to, right? Like what are the normal numbers specific for Greenhood? So here I've gone into my personal database from all the stats I've collected from every single hero, from the averages of the top 100 plus hero-based accounts. So like the top 100 pugs, we took all those accounts and took their pug stats, and we did that for every hero. And we did a ton of like math and stuff with some automation to do some damage charts and all this funky stuff. But I've thrown that into a code beautify or JSON viewer. This is so that instead of this random mumbo jumbo of data, we've got this nice little GUI similar to our API here with the little arrows. So obviously we're going to be taking a look at what was it, HUD stats. Take a look at HUD stats. And here we've got some code words. So the current thing that we're looking at is damage per kill. So damage per kill is DPK. All right, so that's this right here. So these numbers all have a different meaning, and you'll see that they vaguely go up. So the two exceptions with the vaguely going up thing is the first and the last one. So the first and the last one, don't bother with those ones. We're not going to be talking about those this video. But these 5 here, these are very key numbers. So what I've done here is I've essentially taken the damage per kill values of every single one of our points in the data set. Now I've put them in order here. And now the first number here in this set of 5 is going to be the minimum. So this is the lowest value that we've seen, period. Okay, that we've confirmed is most likely legit. All right. So this excludes wildcards that we've confirmed boosted and stuff like this. And then on the other side, the 5th number here is going to be the highest number. This is the 25% mark, 75% mark, 50% mark, also known as median. This is median, and this is like halfway in the data set towards the minimum, and this is halfway in the data set towards the maximum. So generally, what we're looking at is we want to try and stay in between a little bit below the 25% mark and a little bit above the 75% mark. Anything outside of that may be worth looking into. Anything outside of these minimum and maximum values, definitely worth looking into. Not necessarily boosted, but definitely worth looking into. And anything that's like severely lower than the minimum or severely higher than the maximum, generally means they boosted or there's some other funky nonsense going on here where they abused a bug to do something. All right. And so we've already done some math, and if you remember from a little bit ago, the answer that we got was about 29. It's actually 28.93 or so. We're just going to round it to 29. Now 29 already below our maximum, so it's already worth thinking, why is it so low, and can we show how it is so low? It's not just about doing simple math like that. There's some more math that we can throw in here. So go ahead and do some of that. Let's do it per game mode, right? So we always want to look at per game mode stats because although the average might be a little fishy, maybe they've played 3 game modes, 2 of the game modes are a little less fishy, and 1 game mode is absurdly, very clearly boosted. So we can usually, get a better gauge if we look a little more in depth at each game mode that they've played with that character. So Green Hood, of course, the 3 main game modes that we can play that save stats generally outside of like friends mode and 1v1 mode. We've got normal, which is the code word for solos. We've got 2v2, which is the code word for 2v2, and we've got teams, which is the code word for 2v2v2. So we're first going to be taking a look at is damage dealt normal. So this is his solos damage per kill. So we're going to be taking this and we're going to divide it by his damage per kill here, or sorry, his kills for normal, which, there we go, that's the top. So we're going to be doing this divided by that. That gives us 39. So his solo stats not very fishy. 39, if you guys can remember, 39 although it's a little low, it is within our reasonable parameters, and we've seen lower. Okay, we've confirmed non-boosted lower, so it's not, I mean, it's there, but it's not anything to, claim as boosted, of course. And then we can do the exact same thing for, where would it be? Damage dealt 2v2. And then I don't think he has enough team stats to really be worth looking into, I don't think. But we're just going to be dividing these numbers. So that's the first number divided by the second one here. That gives us 25. So in 2v2, he's got 25. 25, if you guys remember correctly, is significantly lower than what we're looking for. So what I've got written down here, the low end is about 48, and the minimum that we want to be seeing is like at least 30, or we can go as low as like 27, 28 if you really want to push it. But anything below that is, it's out there. And we just saw 25, so 25 very low. So in teams, something's funky. Now, if you guys remember, the order of operations when it comes to most frequently boosted game mode, or easiest to boost game mode compared to least frequently boosted, for Smashers is it goes 2v2 and then, or sorry, 2v2v2, and then 2v2, and then way out there solos. Not many people will boost solos. And considering it doesn't have that many teams mode stats, if he did boost, it would be in 2v2, and it makes sense here because he's only got 25 damage per kill in 2v2. So we're seeing this pattern here where the game mode that is most likely to have boosted in is also the most fishy. But we can push a little further. Let's look at his damage per kill after negating, or sorry, his average damage per kill after negating full kills. So his average damage per void kill is what we call this, okay? So this is assuming that all his damage kills were full damage kills, because on average they will be. And we'll assume the best in him. So we'll say that they're all 100 health, not 120, but 100 health. So this doesn't account for like prestige kits, but it is putting as much in his favor as we can. Generally, when you want to do stuff like this, it's just good habit to put it as much in their favor as we can, because you want to assume that they didn't boost to better show that, to more clearly show that they actually did boost. Because if you put it in their favor and it still very much shows that they boosted, well, it's even more clear that it is, right? The evidence is even more abundant. So to get that number, what we got to do is we're going to take their kills. And if you remember correctly, their damage kills is known as smasher here. So we're taking their kills overall, and we're going to be minusing, actually what we're going to be doing, since we're doing damage, my bad, we're taking their damage. Now we're going to be minusing the amount of damage kills they have times 100. So this is going to be 420, and we're just going to add 2 zeros, right? So that gives us 42,000. That gives us about 56.7 thousand or so. And now we're going to take that number and divide it by the amount of kills that are void kills. So the amount of kills that are going to be void kills are going to be his total kills here, right? Minus his damage kills here. So this is going to be minus 420. And that gives us 19, okay? So if we take out the full damage kills from his overall, this isn't even looking at his 2v2, this is just from his overall. He's got 19 damage per kill, which, I mean, going back to this, 19 is getting scary low. That's half of basically the bare minimum that we've seen in the database. And I'm not just saying database as in like a couple dozen players. This database has the entire Plank top 1000, and then we also checked an extra like 2000 accounts on top of that, okay? So just know, if you know someone who played Smash Heroes, he's most likely at least been checked through the database. Not necessarily that he's still in it, because we don't save all accounts, of course, but he's most likely at least been through the filter. So just know, this isn't just some tiny ass database that no one knows about. This is probably the most respectable third-party database that anybody's made for game mode regarding data for Hypixel, maybe outside of like Skyblock. I don't really know about Skyblock. I don't know if anybody's done anything like that. Anyways, that's 19. And then we can go one step further just to show you guys with duos, okay? So we're going to do the exact same thing we just did. So we're going to take the damage dealt 2v2, and we're going to minus the Smasher 2v2 times times 100, right? So 237. Remember, this is as much in his favor as we can go, right? It could be as low as 17 or 18, or maybe even 17, maybe even a tiny bit below 17, depending on how generous we go. And so 19 is already absurd, but that's in his favor. You gotta keep that in mind, guys. So from minus 237, we add two zeros. That's 23,700. That gives us about a little under 42,000. And now if we take this amount of kills and we divide this by this minus his 2v2 smasher kills, that's 237, we get 17.9. Okay, so 17.9 is it's it's laughably low. And this is also a factor in he didn't boost all of these games. It's very clear that I mean, although he boosted, I'm gonna go and say he boosted. Um, and it's clear, he didn't just boost, right? You can't, like, you don't get these stats from pure boosting. You get these stats from mixing boosting with like legit games, with dodging, with whatever, okay? So just keep in mind, if he's got 19 average, right, or even as low as 17.9, or let's just say 18 average, this is half of what we're expecting, and this is including the legit games mixed in, which let's assume that like at least half of them are legit games. That means his boosted games are at like 9 or lower, which is what you'd expect for someone who's boosted, right? With Green Hood, if you shoot out just a few shots, right? Even just one scatter shot, you can do like 10 damage very easily. So this guy, I mean, it just painfully, he could do more damage if he was boosting with like his friends or something just by accident. If he was just a good player but who was boosting, he would do more damage by accident. Okay, it is very obvious that he's boosted. At least with some of his stats here with Green Hood, and it's clear that he's boosted in 2v2. But this is Friday's episode, so we're not done yet. I know that was a bit of a ride. We're already 17 minutes into this episode, but I promise that I'd make a very long episode this week, and so this is the long episode. We're not done. We're gonna take a look at his void kills to damage kills ratio. So you guys may have seen last time we strictly touched damage per kill stuff. Now we're gonna be taking a look into another metric we're gonna use, which is void kill to damage kill ratio. This will become much more apparent in our second example in coencidence, that account, which is the second account we'll be taking a look at today. But this is also absurdly very much relevant for G1ovanni as well. As generally when people boost, they knock their ults off. That's why they have such low damage dealt per kill. It's because they get a few hits in, their ults walk off, or they get pushed off, and then they die to the void. That's why they have so little damage, because the ult dies so fast before you can do a lot of damage. And so reasonably, assuming that that's the case, we should also see that they have higher on average void kill to damage kill ratio. So they get more void kills for every damage kill than normal. So let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at his overall kills. Now the amount of void kills that he gets is going to be his overall kills minus his damage kills, right? Because if you're not getting a damage kill, what are you getting? A void kill. So we're going to take this number minus 420 here. That gives us a void kill count of a little over 3,000. Now we're going to divide it by his amount of damage kills. So this is how many void kills on average he gets for every one damage base kill. This is 7.2. And as always, we're going to be taking a look here. Now we've got another metric here. So void damage ratio for kills. So this is a void damage ratio for kills. I'm taking a look at this. Now here we're going to be taking a look at the high end. Instead of the low end, we're looking at the low end with damage per kills. Here we're taking a look at the opposite side, right? So these metrics are sort of inverse from each other. So the low end here is generally going to be at the high end here, and the high end here is generally going to be at low end here. Let's take a look at this. If you remember, 2 seconds ago, I just said 7.2. So the highest that we've confirmed, or the highest that we've seen through the filter, really, about 5.3, maybe 5.35. You can round up to 5.4 if you want to be generous here. Ladies and gentlemen, 5.4, nowhere near 7.2. Where's the 7.2? Why is it so high? Anyways, I think that's been enough of bullying G1ovanni's stats. I think it's very clear that he has boosted his hood stats. Now, if anybody wants to contradict this, or even just give your thoughts on the situation, whether you think he boosted or not, and whether you think that these are stat wipeable stats or not, whether you think he boosted enough to where his stats should be stat wiped, at least for Smash Heroes, go ahead, comment down below. I love reading you guys' replies to stuff like this. It's always interesting to get another perspective. It's very difficult often to get someone else's perspective on stuff because not many people actually take the time to look at the research. So if you're someone who's gone through the entire video thus far and you've been keeping track with the calculator and looking at the numbers and comparing them and you're sort of not adding up to you either, go ahead and leave your thoughts down below. It's really interesting for me to read. And furthermore, a quick little quiz for you guys who are very engaged with this right now. How many games would you guess on his Green Hood are boosted? So out of his, how many is this? Let's say it's about 900 games or so. Out of about 900 games or so, how many do you think are boosted? Do you think it's about half of them? So about 450? Do you think it's 200? Do you think it's 700? I'm curious what you guys think. I've got an answer in my head. And so go ahead and leave your comment down below with that answer. And then in a few days' time, I should get back to you guys and tell you how close you were. Because I think I've got a really strong estimate on this, and I'm curious what you guys think. Anyways, that's been one account. We've still got one more account to take a look at here, boys. So this is Coincident. If you guys remember, he is currently number 96, or sorry, 97 on the achievement hunting leaderboard, or sorry, achievement points leaderboard. Still over 20k. 20k is a pretty strong benchmark to set. And he hasn't even gotten all his AP. Still got like what, 300 more AP or something like that to get from Smash here. So he's well on his way. Once again, Black Plus, very common nowadays. He's in some random guild I've never heard of. He's the owner, you know. As always, I mean, guilds don't really matter, but it is what it is. This guy, almost 12,000 quests complete. That's a lot of quests complete. He's been playing the game for a very long time. Okay, guys, over 6 years he's been playing on Hypixel. That is a very long time. Over 1,000 friends, all right? He's got decently high Hypixel level for the amount of total coins he has. If he used boosters, we'd expect a much higher number than this. So this is most likely just from the quest that he's done. This is a very high network level to just grind purely through quests. Obviously, not almost 19.5 million karma. That's a lot of karma to be grinding. So take a look at his Smasher stats. So he's only Smash level 111. 111, not very high. Now, looking at his stats, this is very, very interesting because you'll notice that he didn't boost 2v2, nor did he boost 2v2v2. So this is a very rare breed of booster who boosted solos. That's why I think this account is so interesting to show you guys today. Now, it's not to say that he didn't 100% boost 2v2. It's just that he most most of his boosting was done in solos, most definitely. Now, if you look at his kits, he's got one kit that stands out as a Spooder. Every other kit, far too low sample size to even bother taking a look at. We could maybe touch on his Cluck, but even then, I don't really want to bother with such a low sample size, like 14 and 3. Like, dude, this is only 17 games played. There's a lot of people I know that play like 50 plus games in one day. So just knowing how low that's like a third of a day for like someone who actively plays this game. That's too low. Too low to even bother. But if you look at his Spooder, it's just enough to where we could reasonably make some assumptions about where these stats came from and whether or not they were boosted. So we're going to be taking a look at that today. So we're going to go here and we're going to get this ready. So we're going to be taking a look at his Spooderman today. This is the Spider-Man ripoff. So once again, as always, we are on his API here. So this is his Mongo ID. You can compare it all you want. This is all the info, and I believe at the bottom here we'll find his UUID somewhere. Right there, UUID. All right. Now we're going to go into stats. We're going to go into Super Smash, also known as Smash Heroes here. We're going to go down to class stats, and we're going to go into his Spooder. Where is Spooder? Spooder's a second kit right here. Okay. Now, there's a lot of stuff that I want you guys to understand. There's a lot of numbers that we can look at. I'm going to try and stick to the same numbers we did for G1ovanni just to keep some sort of, I guess, main idea between every episode. So I generally want to use the same stats within each episode. So for every 2 players on every Friday's episode, I'm going to try and use the same stats. One thing I really want to mention, just taking a look at melee stats, this guy is 670 kills with melee. Now, melee is not your main damage source on Spooder, okay? Your main killing is going to be with Spooder Kick, right? Spooder Kick's your spike. This is your spike. He's got 22 kills with a spike and 670 with his melee. So what this guy probably did when he was boosting, and I'll go into how it's blatantly clear that he boosted in a minute here. He had his ults in solos. He went up, punched them once, and then he went on the ult account and walked off the map. He literally just punched them. He didn't even bother using abilities. He basically just punched them. Now, 670 melee kills. His total kill count here is 794. Okay, so that's a lot. Okay, that's a scary amount. Let's look at that percentage just to show how high that is. Okay, so 607. And anybody who plays Spooder, I promise you, anybody who actually plays Spooder will tell you that this is absurd. Anybody who plays Smash's Period will tell you that this is absurd. About 84%, a little over 84% of his kills have been melee kills. That is painfully high. But aside from that, let's look into the stats we're planning on looking at. So first off, we've got damage per kill. Let's look at his damage per kill. We look at his overall damage dealt here. We're going to take this and we're going to divide it by his amount of kills. This is the most simple stat that you can look at. It's just one very easy division. His average damage per kill here, 25.6. Okay, I'll let everyone at home do that calculation themselves if they feel like it. 25.6. Well, we can round up to 25.7. Okay, hell, we'll round up to 26. We'll be absurdly generous with him. Okay, 26 damage per kill. Let's go ahead into Spooder, and now we're taking a look at damage per kill. So this is damage per kill. He's got 26, we said, right? The generous estimate, 26. If you guys remember, these are the 5 numbers we're taking a look at today, right? So these are these 5 numbers here. This is the maximum, 75%, median, 25% gate, and minimum. So generally, we would be willing to go down to 55 or so at most before things get very suspicious. And this guy's got 26. Okay, so he's roughly 30 points below. He's less than half of like the minimum we'd put for like maybe you boost it, right? So it's very clear. This is a boosted Spooder. This is this is a boosted Spooder, man. This is. All right, sorry there. My headset freaked out for a second, blasted my eardrums, and then turned itself off, which not a very good sign. It might be the end of the life for this headset soon. But going right back into this, like I said, this painfully obvious boosting here. 25, 26 damage per kill. That's not even going to the specific game modes, right? I mean, this is painful. And then if we look, teams, where would this be? Oh yeah, and that's not even looking at his full damage kills. So if we look at his if we extract his full damage kills here, we've got 38 full damage kills. So now if we take the total amount of damage dealt, which is going to be, where's damage dealt again? Damage dealt. Where did I put that? There we go. Take this, and then if we minus the total, if we extract the amount of damage from full kills, most generously in his offer, as per usual, it's about 3.8k, and we divide this by the amount of void kills, which is going to be 294, 794 minus 38 there. So it goes down to 21.9 on the dot almost. So let's say 22 damage per kill. So after we extract the full damage kills, which are the least likely boosted kills, we probably played a few games legit, we go down to 22. Very low. It's not super low, like low, but it is low. It's low enough that we know he boosted, but it's not super low to the point where he was just walking off with the ults. What he most likely did, Spooder, I believe, is a hybrid kit, or maybe a melee kit, which means it does 4 or 5 damage per melee hit. So he probably, on average, hit an ult account 4 or 5 times before they fell off the map. Which is, I mean, it makes sense. With this damage, 4 or 5 times to knock, I mean, it takes about 4 or 5 jabs to knock an ult who's AFK or any AFK player off the map. So it just makes sense. It's very clear that what he did is he queued, punch some alts off the map, and end of story. That's basically it. But if we just stop there, that wouldn't be a Friday's episode. We've still got more dunking on to do, you know. So let's further take a look at his stats. Let's extract his solo stats. So this is going to be normal. So we're going to do the same thing for his damage for solos. So we're going to look at damage dealt normal. This is going to be this number, I believe, right? This. And then divided by his amount of kills in normal, which is this number. That's about 21.92 as well, so also very low. And now if we extract in solos, this is the heavy hitter number here. This is going to be the big boy. Now it's already clear that it boosted, just so we're clear on that. This is going to be the big number. So this is going to be like the most blatant number. Not to say it's less accurate, but it's just going to be the most blatant. He's only got 18 damage kills. That's low. Sheesh. So if we take this and divide it by, and this can be 677 minus 18 for the ones following at home. That's 19.8, so under 20. So roughly around 20 for all these numbers. They're not too far from each other. It's very clear. He just jabbed. For those who don't know, jabbing is your melee attack. It's your default melee, just a left click attack for just about every kit in Smash Bros. So just to know, he walked up, punched an ult a few times, it fell off the map, and then he moved on to the next ult. He just did that rinse repeat for a couple hundred kills. Now, we can slam dunk a little harder than this, and so I'm going to do it. Let's look at his void to damage kill ratio. Not even going to look at solos. Let's just look at void to damage kill overall. Let's take it one step at a time here. Let's look at his overall. So overall here, we're going to be taking a look at his void kills and his damage kills overall. Where can I find this? This would be just kills. So his void kills is going to be this. Oh, what is wrong? There we go. I copied the wrong number. Divided by, where's Smasher? I need Smasher. Smash is going to be his death, but I want Smasher. Where's Smasher? Oh, there we go. It's right above it. 38. Oh, I did a division there. I want 794 minus 38. That gives us 756 void kills. And now if we divide that by his damage kills, which is 38, of course, we get about a 19.9 ratio there. So for every one damage kill, he got on average 19.9 or just under 20 void kills. Now, some might say for Spooder, that's not too bad, right? Because Spooder gets auto spike dash, right? You can literally just, I think it's right click, and it has auto spike built into it. Spooder's known for spiking people off the map, so he should on average have higher void kills to damage kills, right? But if we look at the data, it is a little more in favor of Spooder, but on average, it's not absurd. It's nowhere near the 19.9 that he has by any means, okay? 19.9 is several folds way over this, right? So this is the lowest, the highest 2.5, the highest non-boosted that we could expect would be like 3 or 4, right? This guy's at 19. He's in a completely different league when it comes to void kills. To damage kill ratio. Okay, this is slam dunk right in center. Didn't even touch the rim. This is like playing a basketball game versus AFKs. This is like when you get a video of your girlfriend fucking another guy and you say they cheated and they say they didn't, but it's like slam dunk evidence. You know, like it's clear, like you can see it in the video. Yeah. Anyways, if you have any thoughts for this booster coincidence, I haven't actually talked to him. I think I've talked to G1ovanni once or twice, not in private DMs or anything, but I think I've seen a few messages from him. I've never actually seen coincidence on Discord or anything like this. If you know this guy, please maybe if we can get in contact. He boosted, and I think it'd be cool if he admitted to it. But I'm curious what you guys think. Do you guys think he boosted? Do you guys think that how many games do you think he boosted? I'm curious. Because this guy's got what 150 games played on this booter. How many do you think he boosted of 115? I'm gonna say he boosted at least like 75 of them. 75 at least. The rest you can take a guess. I'm curious to see what your guys' thoughts on coincidence specifically as well, because stats are very blatantly obvious, even with a low-ish sample size, still high enough that we can make some assumptions. And obviously from the assumptions that we can make, it is painfully clear that he has boosted. Anyways, those are all the accounts I've got for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed. As always, go ahead and comment down below with your thoughts. I love reading, and I basically respond to everything. If you liked the video, I'd very much appreciate it if you give the video a like so that other people can see the beautiful effort, the beautiful discoveries that we're making with all of the data we can get from the API. Make sure to subscribe if you are planning on watching more of these videos in the future. Anyways, I've been your host, Zero260. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.